Peggy 16.
Dearest Mother, I came to this rock to find you, but I only find myself surrounded by schemers. The President, the soldier, the Duchess, and the Cardinal, and those who invited us here. But I won't be a pawn in their games. What brought you here? What have you left for me to find? Are you even still alive?
Why do you think she wanted to leave?
Everything is possible if you make the right choices.
It will take all my skill and my silver tongue to solve this mystery. Before it's too late.
Eh bien, bonjour à tous et à toutes, on se retrouve aujourd'hui en cette journée du mardi 2 octobre 2018 de façon à poursuivre l'aventure sur The Council. J'espère que vous allez tous très très bien et que vous avez passé une bonne journée. Pour ma part, ça va. Après ça, comme d'habitude, toujours fatigué. Sinon, je fais un petit coucou à toi, Elzalia, qui est la première arrivée. Salut à toi, j'espère que tu vas bien et que tu es prête à poursuivre cette aventure. Et salut à toi MC, j'espère que tu vas bien toi aussi.
How many times must I tell you? How many times must I
En bas.
tell you?
Ok.
You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet. Monsieur de Richet, I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
Eh ben ça commence bien. Bon. On peut lire un bouquin. Donc je vous propose, alors là on a l'encyclopédie. Donc, oh, c'est nous met dans tout. Donc logique, psychologie, politique, érudition ou tout ce qui a un rapport ou tout le reste, ou de tout. Logique, psychologie, politique, érudition ou de tout. La première personne qui répond, c'est ce qu'on prend. Moi, je serais pour prendre un peu de tout. Après ça, c'est vous qui choisissez. Un peu de tout, bah. Ok, bon bah MC a choisi. Voilà. Que je peux en prendre? Oh, je peux en prendre plusieurs? Ah. On va voir, j'ai sciences linguistiques et érudition. Logique, psychologie, politique. On parle pour le deuxième, je vais choisir moi-même. Je m'en fous pas mal de la politique.
last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. But an act of horrific violence occurred during the night, and I do not know if this is linked to the disappearance of Sarah.
Donc, première personne qui répond. De quoi parlez-vous? Un lien avec ma mère? Les personnes ne répondent, je vais jouer. De quoi parlez-vous?
What are you getting at? What act of violence?
We
Okay.
found Elizabeth Adams' body.
Donc Elzalia va pas pouvoir choisir au début parce qu'elle est en pleine game
She was
DBD.
brutally
Nickel.
murdered, stabbed several times. I'll get straight to the point, Louis. According to the initial elements at my disposal, you were the last person to see her alive.
Yes, last night we, Do you suspect me?
I want you to tell me everything that happened last night and leave nothing out. Tell me, how did the evening begin?
Ta gueule le perroquet. Oui, je travaille, alors ça peut être un peu plus long avant que je réponde, aucun souci. Donc j'étais avec la justesse Hillsborough ou j'aime me coucher. Je vais me coucher.
I was going up to my room when I saw Elizabeth waiting for me. She was very upset, and her words didn't make sense. I thought it best to follow her to her room, as she had asked me to.
Ah putain, merde.
Continue.
She insisted we have a drink, without which she refused to confide anything.
What exactly did she want to speak about?
C'est ça qu'il nous faut. Donc, de son enfance où elle avait cru voir ma mère.
She claimed she saw my mother the previous evening on the cliff, if I remember correctly.
Interesting. I will send someone as soon as possible. But do go on.
I refused to go on drinking with her. She already seemed drunk and her conversation became confused. So, then she ordered me to get out. If only I'd stayed.
Don't blame yourself, Louis. How could you have known? But thank you for this new information. Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed.
Que compte-t-il faire ou laissez-le finir? Que compte-t-il faire ou laissez-le finir? Vous allez chanter les deux. Là j'ai été obligé de mettre en pause parce que sinon ça allait mettre direct. Que compte-t-il faire ou laissez-le finir?
I understand. What do you intend to do?
I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was
Non, c'est pas
attacked
Nekokun.
in her room.
Y a-t-il des suspects, des détails sur ce drame ou y aller?
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory, and His Eminence Piaggi. So I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight.
Salut Tonok, ça va?
They were tired and went up to bed.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
The nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
Une rat de bibliothèque, comme talent. Ouah. Ça me correspond tellement pas. Il y a un truc qui a fait du bruit là par là. Ah,
An old sesterce from Roman Gaul.
heureusement qu'on est fin. Hein.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost. Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Oh, le pic du miel sur son bureau quoi.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation.
La couronne.
I'm listening, Louis.
Tonok. Ah.
I'll be in touch as soon as I
On n'a
have
pas encore de
any more
coupable,
information.
on peut pas accuser qui que ce soit. Donc je vous laisserai pas accuser qui que ce soit là, tant qu'on n'est pas sûr d'un coupable.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Alors, je suis désolé MC, là j'en profite parce que tu es en train de dire que vous n'avez pas de premier mois gratuit, mais voilà, tous les 12 mois vous avez un 13e qui est offert. J'aurais tendance à dire qu'en soi-même, vous au moins ça va être renouvelé. Vous aurez tout le temps un 13e mois gratuit. Nous, c'est juste le premier mois qui est gratuit. Ah. Ah ok, ouais. Ok, si c'est juste le premier 13e mois, ok. Ouais, à ce moment-là, oui, MC, je comprends. Ouais.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room?
Un peu, ouais, Tanok.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Perrault. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
T'es mort
don't
vite,
worry.
Zélia, dis donc.
He's on the list of suspects.
On va y voir. Est-ce qu'il n'y a rien d'autre à piquer ici? Je fais des petits tours, je fais des petits tours, j'en fais tous les jours.
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
Je fais des petits
Golden
tours.
elixir. Which four-letter word could open this chest?
LS. Bah, je m'amuse à écrire n'importe quoi là. Hein. J'en sais rien de quelle est la combinaison. On n'a pas d'indice pour l'instant là-dessus. Mais bon, faut retenir, on a un coffre avec des lettres ici. Donc il faudra revenir juste pour ce coffre. J'ai survécu. J'ai une hague qui a mis 4 trappes devant moi, elle me campait. Au fait, Clem, il y a un truc contre le camp qui est fait, on le verra au prochain PTB. Les campeurs qui restent dans les 16 mètres ou 15 mètres d'un crochet risquent de dépipe. Ça va pas en empêcher, hein. Surtout, Zalia, tu m'excuses, mais quand tu prends Billy avec sa tronçonneuse, tes 16 mètres, il est fait en 2 secondes. Hein. Faut voir la vérité en face. Hein. 16 mètres, c'est rien. Les infirmières, les Billy, ils s'en foutent complètement de tes 16 mètres. Ah, la chambre de Jacques Perru.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Salut Astarov, ça va?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late
Oh
anyway.
mais...
Do what you have to do and get out.
Alors là, je vais choisir. Ils ne sont pas les biens ou fouiller la chambre. Et sinon, Alzalia, oui, tout le monde ne joue pas Billy, mais t'auras toujours certains qui vont sortir. Ah, mais j'étais en train de placer les pièges avec le trappeur ou avec Lag. Ou sinon, toujours certains qui vont sortir avec l'infirmière ou Billy. Ah, mais j'étais suffisamment loin. Ou avec le clown. Ah, mais je suis en dehors de la zone, même si je balance les fioles piles sur la personne qui a accroché, c'est légit. Genre le blabla qu'on entend tout le temps, quoi. Et moi, je suis fatigué à cette heure, mais sinon, ça va bien.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
A pattern with 4 circles.
Ah putain, faut vraiment que je prenne le truc là pour déverrouiller. Faut vraiment que je prenne cette compétence parce que je commence à en avoir marre de pas pouvoir ouvrir n'importe quel coffre. J'ignore si nous nous reverrons. Je suis prisonnier aujourd'hui, piégé par mes propres décisions. Je dois être protégé. Mon avenir est perdu, mais toi, tu peux encore être sauvé. Quelle que soit la rancœur que tu auras contre moi, sache que j'ai pactisé avec un diable que je pensais maîtriser. Je croyais que je connaissais les monstres, mais ce que j'ai fait pour la France n'est rien comparé à ce dont ils sont capables. Aujourd'hui, je ne vois pas d'issue. Les mâchoires se referment sur moi. Je t'aime maintenant et à jamais. Putain, c'est chiant.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad. Nice decor for a Revolutionary Tribunal judge's room. Another painting on the Massacre of the Innocents?
Ouais. Ouais. Ils ont fait quelque chose, entre guillemets, hein, Alzalia. On va savoir s'ils vont pas annuler ce genre de truc parce que tu auras tous les tueurs qui vont pleurer. Et ça sera comme d'hab, hein. Ça sera pas la première fois qu'ils annulent un truc qui aurait arrangé les survivants.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris. It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris. And there's some well-known names on it. This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat will be waiting for you in Calais and will take you to Dover in England. From there, a carriage will take you to the port of Tintagel, where a frigate will be waiting for you.
Oui, j'ai vu Alzaya.
So you can meet up with me on my island as quickly as possible. I await your arrival. Lord William Mortimer.
Ah mais il y a les petites sa chambre pour qu'il y ait carrément la baignoire comme ça au milieu de sa chambre. Je veux dire qu'on parle à la nôtre. Bon, il me semble pas qu'on ait de baignoire, mais quand même. Elle est petite. Il y a du favoritisme dans l'air.
A pattern with 4 circles. Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent.
Oui, c'était souvent comme ça, vous savez, avant, mais...
The renovation of the western wing of the orphanage. The children you sent are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect they will cease in due course. Should you decide to send us more, please note that another 20 beds will soon be ready. The children and myself will never thank you enough. Long live the Republic. Long live France. Sister Marie-Hélène. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. Dear Monsieur, I have no space. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Eau de mélisse. Lequel eau de mélisse?
Dear, I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. Dear Monsieur, I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. Dear, all right. I've retrieved everything.
Voilà, on peut rien me cacher. On peut rien me
Nice
cacher.
decor for a revolutionary tribunal
All
judge's
right.
room.
Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Alors... ah, on peut pas ça parce qu'il y a une immunité. Mais on peut ça. Donc je vous laisse le choix. Donc je vous laisse le choix. J'ai trouvé la lettre.
I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman?
Ah désolé MC,
I'm
j'allais la
not
taper
saying
avant.
anymore. There's no
Salut
point you
Gwen, ça
insisting.
va? Ah c'est mal hein.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Donc maintenant on va faire ce qu'avait proposé MC.
2 days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit.
Bah moi fatigué Gwen, mais sinon ça va.
Here you are, carping away. You think you're investigator of the year. Have you taken a look at yourself, de Richet?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not.
Donc vous savez pas le choix, ne lâche pas ou continuez.
Why?
Nothing. Get away from me.
Just as soon as you stop treating me like I'm an idiot. If you wanted people to think you were guilty, you couldn't have done any better. So cut the bullshit and come clean now.
I can't! He'll come for revenge.
Who?
No one! Just shut your trap, goddammit! Yes, I was there. Yes, I walked in her blood. You've got all you need to wrap it up. Now scram!
Alors c'est pas lui qui l'a tué. Et on a obtenu une bonne info. On a obtenu une bonne info. Ce mec n'est pas le coupable, mais il est complice. Avant d'aller voir Napoléon, j'ai envie de voir la chambre de la fille. Celle qui nous faisait du rentre dedans. Je crois que c'est elle.
King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess. Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice.
Elle nous a fait du rentre dedans pendant un bon moment, donc autant en profiter maintenant pour fouiller sa chambre.
Dear E,
On a le droit.
your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and
Goleloot,
feet
c'est ça aussi à
tied,
Star Wars,
and
Goleloot.
ready to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. P.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
Alors, on n'a pas été enfermé au sens propre, Alzalia. Ce qui s'est passé, c'est surtout à la fin de l'épisode précédent, on était arrêté. Donc on a été emmené face au propriétaire de la demeure, qu'on a enfin pu rencontrer. Et ce propriétaire, comme si tu avais regardé le début du stream, au lieu de jouer à DVD, nous a fait passer un interrogatoire. Et maintenant, il nous sort qu'il aimerait notre coopération pour trouver le coupable. Donc en clair, c'est... Même s'il nous l'a pas dit qu'on était encore suspect, il continue de nous suspecter. Et si on veut ne plus être le suspect, faut qu'on trouve nous-mêmes le coupable.
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds, painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family, in an effort to find them a husband. Displayed like meat. It's disgusting.
Ah oui, non mais t'inquiète pas, je vais essayer de tout fouiller, hein. Y a pas photo à cette heure, enfin... J'irai pas faire le rapport à Mortimer tant que j'aurai pas tout fouillé.
From William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover.
Le beau
from
chantage.
this present
Bah,
fate.
il l'a pas dit ouvertement, Alzalia, mais clairement, oui, c'était du chantage qu'il nous faisait. En nous demandant à nous de résoudre l'enquête du meurtre, c'est comme s'il nous dit, soit tu résous l'enquête, mais c'est bon, t'es innocent, soit tu résous rien, et à ce moment-là, c'est toi le coupable, et basta, on n'en parle plus.
Thank you in advance for all your help. William Pitt, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain.
Mais voilà, c'est...
It's a stairstay from Roman Gaul.
Il s'est pas fait chier, hein, ça. Duchesse, vous pouvez informer le roi George du soutien de Saint-Père. C'est sympa. Nous vous aiderons à financer le recrutement du régiment d'émigrés royalistes afin de lutter contre la France. Votre ami, son éminence, Giuseppe Piaghi.
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there from what I can tell.
2 coils circle the lock.
Il me faut vraiment cette perque pour pouvoir tout déverrouiller, j'en ai marre.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William, I shall never thank you enough for looking after
Mais en clair, là, pour l'instant, on sait que c'est pas on sait que c'est pas le juge français parce qu'il a assisté, mais il a pas c'est pas lui qui a commis le meurtre. Par contre,
yours sincerely, William Pitt, Count of Chatham.
On sait qu'il y a une guerre qui se prépare entre les Anglais et les Français. Fouiller ou laisser, fouiller ou laisser. On fait quoi déjà? C'est possible la Star, c'est possible.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Choix déjà effectué.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits. A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Bonjour.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Par contre, sa chevelure en l'air comme ça. Ah, vous avez le choix. Sachant que là, il y a une vulnérabilité.
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that
Après,
one of his
rien n'empêche
guests
aussi que
could
ce
have
soit
committed
Lord
such an
Mortimer
act. Don't you
qui fait ça.
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Ou un des hommes de Lord Mortimer.
What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have
C'est
you
ça,
found out
Storm.
anything?
Donc vous avez le choix.
Since your arrival,
Alors, je tiens quand même à rappeler les gens, oubliez pas que tous vos votes qui me prennent des points, les points sont en bas. Il m'en reste qu'un seul. Il me reste qu'un truc de miel pour récupérer 2 points. Donc la prochaine fois qu'il y a un vote, un choix à plus de 3, je ne pourrai pas le faire. Je tiens juste à vous rappeler. Parce que vous avez tendance à vouloir à tout prix faire ce genre de choix. Méfiez-vous. Si je retrouve pas de miel, on pourra pas. Et sachant que quand je prends trop de miel d'affilée, ça met un effet négatif. Donc je suis obligé de consommer le truc qui a 3 là sur la gauche. Donc voilà, vous êtes avertis. Vous faites comme vous le voulez.
did you notice anything strange about Elizabeth?
Everything that happened around that poor child was strange. You saw that for yourself.
I know. You're right. I'm looking for leads to try to reduce the number of suspects.
Well, I would say that in addition to ourselves, you could also cross off President Washington. I went to see him during the night. I had some business with him, and I can confirm that
Alors,
he
c'est
didn't
pas
leave
ni
his room all
Washington.
night.
That gives Washington an alibi.
Pas elle ni Washington. Donc vous avez le choix maintenant, sachant que ça on l'a déjà fait.
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially
Je
since I couldn't
sais.
prevent the murder, even though
Mais
I
le
spent
chat
part
ne
of the
voulait pas
evening.
vous rejoindre.
You're
Il voulait
sure
pas passer
it's
une nuit
not too hard to
passionnelle
bear for you?
avec vous.
The fact is,
Ah,
I
le
don't have a
chat.
choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least.
Ouais, chat. On aurait pu passer une nuit
I
passionnelle
won't
avec
keep
elle,
you,
hein.
Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
On a sauvé ton honneur. Je suis désolé, mais si on prend l'honneur et elle, il est déjà bafoué parce que j'écoute vos choix. Et ta pureté. Non, désolé, stop, je ne suis plus pur depuis longtemps. Alors là... Mauvais choix. Là, c'est chez qui? Manuel...
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Manuel Godoy. C'est fermé. Hey! Pourquoi c'est fermé? Je crois que j'avais le droit d'aller dans toutes les chambres. Louise de Richet. Richet. J'aimerais bien aller dans la chambre d'Elisabeth.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Alors Piaggi, je veux bien parce que il est en haut avec Mortimer, mais quand même. Ça déconne. Vous êtes tous suspects, tous!
President George Washington.
Avant de faire Washington. Qu'est-ce qu'il fout là, lui? Qu'est-ce que tu fous là? Probablement ta santé, ouais, bon.
The map of Vermont. Golden elixir.
Pas de l'élixir d'or qu'il me faut. C'est du miel. Donne-moi du miel, le jeu. Du miel.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Your friend, William.
Désolé Staff, moi je suis plus pour du sel hein, pour les nuits passionnelles. Chacun son truc. Hein.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Ah, désolé. J'ai pas de quoi décrypter la lettre. Désolé les gens. C'est pas un manque de points, c'est que j'ai pas la compétence.
Portrait of George Washington.
C'est narcissique quoi, il a carrément un portrait de lui-même dans sa chambre. Plutôt narcissique. Ah. Enfin un peu de miel. Hop là.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to
Désolé de te le dire Astaroth, mais
find the
un
degenerate
selfie
pig who
n'est
did
pas un
this, Louis.
portrait. C'est pas ce que j'appelle un portrait. Alors vous choisissez. Il a l'air de souffrir. Lui avait-il parlé? Quel est son alibi pour la ligne dernière? Ou autre? Vous choisissez. Il a l'air de souffrir.
Are you all right, Mr.
Vous
President?
viendrez pas
Are you
vous
feeling all
plaindre
right?
quand on aura plus de temps pour faire ce genre de choix. Hein.
It's this rotten toothache. What do you expect? I'm no spring chicken now.
Ok, allez-y. Qu'est-ce que vous voulez qu'on fasse d'autre comme vote?
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered.
Donc allez-y. On a déjà fait les deux duos.
Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Peru, but that case was closed if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened, and I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry, countryman or not, I'm not letting
Qui
anybody
regarde?
slip through the cracks.
J'ai l'impression qu'il regarde au-dessus de nous.
Do you know
Pourquoi
why
est-ce qu'il ne
she
regarde
came
pas
to
dans
the
les yeux?
island?
To get help, if I'm not
Regarde-nous dans les
mistaken.
yeux!
Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
Alors, je peux vous permettre de faire ça. Je peux vous permettre de faire celui-là. Mais vous me dites, soit le laisser finir, soit pourquoi l'inviter maintenant alors?
Yes, Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised
Otage,
you to come.
Aléa.
Agreed. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir
Donc,
Gregory suggested to her father that
juste
he
pour être
introduce her to
sûr-
Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
Je peux vous permettre de faire le choix pourquoi l'inviter maintenant alors. Mais vous me dites. Soit on le laisse finir, soit on prend ça.
It would appear that she wasn't invited to the conference.
That doesn't surprise me. The poor girl was in no way concerned by our business, and she had no political clout.
So, I don't understand why Sir Gregory invited her during the conference of his good friend Lord Mortimer. He must have realized that he wouldn't have much time to grant her. Preparing a conference does not seem an easy task. On the evening of our arrival, Lord Mortimer didn't even welcome us, what with his being so busy and all.
Yes, you're right, Louis. I didn't think of that. It is indeed rather surprising. The easiest thing to do is simply ask him, you know.
Of course.
Donc, le seul choix qu'on n'a pas fait, c'est ça. Quel est son alibi pour la nuit dernière? Mais est-ce que vous préférez partir?
I shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President. Hey, Mr. President. Là, il y a l'autre enfoiré, j'ai pas envie de lui parler de suite. On peut pas aller dans la chambre de Peggy. Louise de Richet. Peut-être qu'on peut aller dans la nôtre. On peut pas aller dans la nôtre. Si j'étais président de la République, jamais plus un enfant n'aurait pensé triste. C'est triste ce que tu dis. J'ai eu un petit ting. Ouais, c'était peut-être la chambre. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Jacques Perreux, on l'a déjà vu. On n'a pas vu Bonaparte, oui, je sais. Mais on le verra après. N'inquiétez pas. Et j'essaye surtout de voir un maximum de chambres avant d'aller voir l'autre enfoiré là qui nous attend. Ah mais en fait, on m'a sorti que la plupart que je pouvais aller dans toutes les chambres, mais en fait c'est faux quoi. Je peux même pas, il y a la moitié des chambres, je peux pas les faire. Avant qu'il nous arrête. Yes! Ah, ils ont laissé le cadavre et tout, hein. Alors nous avons Captain Obvious aujourd'hui avec Astaroth Bonjour, Captain Mobius.
A chest with a half-circle pattern.
What?
My dear Elizabeth, I'm
Qu'est-ce
writing
qu'il fout
to
là,
inform
l'autre?
you of some unfortunate news. We won't be able to meet as planned on the first Sunday of May. I've been told that you're no better, and, unfortunately, your brothers and I are absolutely snowed under by the work required to govern this new country. Please excuse us. As soon as we can get free, even if it's just for a day, I promise we shall come and see you. Your loving father, John Adams. P.S. Don't hold it against your mother. She still isn't ready. Please don't judge her. I'm sure you'll be able to put all of this behind you one day.
Y a pas du miel quelque part?
The clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime.
Pratique que ça pour savoir l'heure du crime. Aha!
Carmelite water.
Merde.
A novel of the initiation of a young woman into polite society.
Ah.
A notebook written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out.
J'ai pas les connaissances, désolé pour vous. Hein.
June 11th, 1791. My dear Elizabeth, your last letter gave me much cause for concern. Your words were so cold, as if emotions no longer matter to you. Father maintains that the secondary effects of your treatment still trouble you, but that they will soon subside. Should I believe him? I cling to the belief that we shall soon see each other again, at long last. Right soon. Your loving sister, Abigail. P.S. Don't forget to tell me what present you want.
Elle avait donc une sœur. L'arme à feu en question. Il aurait tué. Quoi que non, elle a été plantée. Est-ce qu'il est chargé? Je voulais choisir là. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait comme choix?
A tribute engraved on the barrel to the liberators of France.
Le libérateur de la France. Les Américains? Quoique non, c'est à l'époque de Napoléon, c'est cela, donc c'est pas les Américains.
There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip.
Alors, Alzalia, juste avant, t'avais Astarov qui avait mis examiner l'arme, donc c'est pour ça que j'ai examiné l'arme en premier. L'arme. Pas la crosse, l'arme. Donc voilà.
It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. Right. I shall have to find its owner.
Ouais, on a un gun, on ne sait pas à qui il appartient.
Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
Donc je vais choisir, qu'est-ce qu'on fait?
It's a travel dress. The silk has been lightly waxed to protect it from bad weather. And I know the very woman who came up with the idea, given all the traveling she does. My mother. God help us. Why did she come here in the first place? The material appears to have undergone abnormal wear and tear. She must have been scouring the countryside, and that doesn't look good. Piece of fabric. High quality at that.
Donc, on sait que le tissu viendrait de notre mère.
By the texture and the gray hue, it must
Ou en tout cas de quelqu'un qui serait comme notre mère.
kind that women of quality wear.
Mais est-ce que vous voyez, est-ce que vous voulez voir ce que ça lui rappelle ou est-ce qu'on part?
Color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits and
Grâce à Starf, il vous reste plus que 2 points à dépenser. Merci à Starf. T'as tellement bien les dialogues, Starf. On va se faire complètement avoir par les dialogues.
I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Donc on n'a rien pris de plus en plus à Starf. Ah putain, ah j'adore. Ah, j'ai une clé à 5 cercles.
1792. Elizabeth.
Le point pour rien, c'est ça.
Doubt there's any point in writing to you. I'm not even sure you'll receive.
Ah j'aime ça là quand vous faites des choix comme ça les cons. Vous allez pas pouvoir vous plaindre. Je tiens à rappeler que les trucs qui me permettent de faire un choix gratis, je ferai que pour des 3 ou 4 points, hein. Pas pour en dessous.
I often think about you and pray every day to be able to hold you tight. We have so much time to make up. I beg you, answer me, please. Your loving sister, Abigail. P.S. That horrible woman came again yesterday. She spent a long time speaking with Father. I didn't understand everything because they spoke in French, but I'm sure they were talking about you.
Les personnes ont parlé en français.
Vials of laudanum.
Donc là, on peut faire celui-ci. On peut le faire. Mais vous me dites, soit on regarde les flacons, soit on regarde, soit on se renseigne sur du laudanum. On peut faire celui de droite, hein.
I wonder if Washington's involved.
Vous avez le choix. Soit on part, soit on regarde ça. Vous décidez. Du laudanum ou partir? Partir. Ok. On aurait pu faire un l'autre, hein. J'ai dit.
Has Sam finished with this room?
Alors clairement là je vous laisserai pas mettre oui parce qu'il nous reste encore des trucs à voir dans la chambre. Mais est-ce que vous voulez savoir?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has Sir finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me.
Ouais. Elle était un peu spéciale cette dame.
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe. Knocked over bottle of wine.
Salut Jet, ça va? Alors on peut faire ça. On peut faire ça. Comme on peut faire juste sortir ou partir. Vous choisissez. Fatigué, toi, Jet.
Same thing Elizabeth served me last night. Still just as disgusting.
Ça m'a mis un malus, mais sérieux quoi.
I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
N'empêche, le sang a l'air d'être toujours frais. En tout cas, le sang au sol.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Donc là, vous choisissez. Je peux faire tout et n'importe quoi. Hein.
Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts. People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. Scars are superficial and
Bon, je vais le faire moi-même pour avancer un peu.
she wasn't trying to take her own life.
Ah. Bon bah.
She had the Sigillum de Ameth tattooed on her, the symbol of the living God, written in the language of angels, according to believers. It is rare for someone to know about symbols like this at her age, unless her mother was a tutor. I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Ah, là par contre ça coûte. Vous avez le choix. Examinez les tatouages.
Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Tous ces tatouages, c'est du cuir qui a été cousu. Vous avez le choix, du coup. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait là? Qu'est-ce que vous décidez de faire? Ouais, c'est très sympa.
It looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle. As if the murderer was standing behind Elizabeth. Wounds are clean and look
Et
like
grâce à
they've been
ça,
inflicted
vos
by a sharp
derniers
object.
points
Some of the lacerations have
sont
damaged
dépensés.
vital organs, the heart, the right lung, which is perforated. Most of them weren't given with much force. She might even have survived. But the stab in the heart, though not all that deep, sealed her fate. I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations. she bled from the nose.
Ben non, vous pouvez pas.
What a strange smell.
Vous pouvez pas non plus. Quel dommage. Quel dommage.
Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol.
On peut examiner le symbole ou revenir au corps. Examiner les symboles nous coûte rien.
This pinnacle's a trap. The wearers of the pinnacle thought that they were protected from evil by surrounding it inside the different circles of the pinnacle. Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
Ah. Savoir que vous avez même plus de points pour faire la moindre analyse, c'est bon. Et comme j'ai dit, je claquerai les trucs pour faire pour utiliser une compétence que si c'est 3 ou 4. Pas en dessous.
The blade is short and thin, well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand. The blood spatter indicates that the murderer must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that. A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here? Contrary to what most people believe, a pentagram's not there to conjure up.
Ouais, là, je vous fais le choix quand on a plusieurs choix et que c'est gratuit, je l'ai fait pour vous.
The point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol of protection against evil. Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
Bah non, parce qu'il n'y a pas de sens sur le pentagramme. Elle a peut-être voulu faire croire qu'il y avait eu un sacrifice.
A chest with a half circle pattern.
Regarde le mur derrière où elle était assise. J'ai déjà regardé ce mur. J'ai déjà regardé le mur. On a déjà tout regardé ici.
Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Ouais, j'ai on a des questions à poser à Washington là. Lui, Lana, on a des questions à leur poser.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes.
Ça dit qu'elle devait être debout pendant qu'elle se faisait tuer et qu'il devait falloir de la force qu'elle n'avait pas dû se laisser faire. Ok, je vous laisse choisir.
Do you take it regularly, Mr. President?
Unfortunately, I do, Louis. I still suffer from a terrible toothache, and it's not likely to get any better.
It's just for that, then?
Old age, my young friend. I don't wish it upon you, but you'll soon see. At my age, it's rare to have no problems in that domain.
And do you take a lot?
A moderate amount, Louis. Only the dosage indicated on the prescription of my doctor.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines.
Les sous-titres, s'il vous plaît, les sous-titres, merde!
Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Alors c'est bizarre parce que les grosses chaussures, c'est forcément l'autre abruti de juge français qui voulait se battre avec elle. Mais il a lui-même dit qu'il n'était pas le coupable. Et par contre qu'il avait été témoin. Ouais, c'est ça, Zaya. Ouais, je sais, j'ai une clé à 5 cercles, mais je sais plus où est-ce qu'il est le coffre à 5 cercles. Tu en as même déjà vu un. Il faut pas que j'oublie aussi, on n'a pas encore vu Bonaparte. On n'a pas encore vu Bonaparte.
Huh, that's me. Duke Manuel Godoy.
Sachant qu'on avait aussi des doutes sur elle, sur cette femme.
Two coils circle the lock.
Non, c'est 2 cercles.
What can I do for you, Louis?
We found the murder weapon.
What is it?
A dagger, quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet. Still searching as well. That said, since a blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
You think that's a clue?
The handprint was a very slender hand, Emily. Probably that of a woman.
Do you realize what that means? There are only 3 of us on the island. Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Keep up your courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
If what you
Oui,
say
mais
is
j'ai vu plein de coffres, Alzaya.
less and less
Mais à 5 cercles, je sais plus où est-ce qu'il est.
on the subject. I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, Do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you
Attends,
all right?
on a dit que
You
c'était
know, I'm
gris?
sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily.
Est-ce qu'on a dit que c'était gris?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams'
Ah ouais,
room.
ouais, on le dit, ouais.
Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The
On
color
peut pas
doesn't match
passer.
any
On
of
peut pas
Elizabeth's
passer.
dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah.
Je
That's
déteste
exactly
quand c'est
what I
comme ça.
wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily. I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Ouais, non, mais je déteste devoir me retaper les dialogues que j'ai déjà eu, quoi. Qui me permettent de les passer, ce sera plus rapide.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Ah ben on l'avait pas vu lui. Coucou. Bon désolé, je suis obligé de lui parler direct parce qu'on a consommé un truc.
We are both very busy.
Choisissez. Quand je mets en pause parce que sinon le temps défile pour voir les vulnérabilités. Donc l'interroger sur une dernière, possède-t-il un pistolet? On l'a vu rôder vers la chambre d'Elisabeth ou partir. Donc choisissez.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time.
Excuse un peu
Now
bidon
I
quand
know
même.
why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Vous choisissez. A-t-il reconnu le rôdeur? Est-il sincère? Ou continuez?
As any good
C'est un
soldier
peu bête
would,
parce que ça ne coûtait
imagine
rien.
you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
It is not
In
loaded.
Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bond.
Juste 2 petites secondes les gens. Voilà.
It would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you. Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Ouais, lui, c'est très bien pourquoi.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaggi as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you. Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
Salut Albus, ça va?
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly.
Washington
As
a
for
parlé des
me,
cartes?
I
Pas que je me
must have
souvienne, Nazalia.
stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight. So I preferred to
Pas que je
go
me
up to
souvienne.
bed.
On your way up to bed, Did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No. Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a
Fatigué, tu
firearm.
vois, le bus.
May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol.
Ouais,
Don't
Xavier.
worry, it is not loaded.
Do you
C'est
have
ça.
several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you. Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had
C'est
every
chiant
reason
quand tu
to
dois
be
trop taper le
worried.
même dialogue.
What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already. Someone saw you not far from the victim's
Et pour
room.
avoir les trois
Can you tell me what
réponses,
you were
il faut que
doing
tu tapes
exactly,
trois
please?
fois le
I
dialogue
can
de
tell you
merde.
that someone is an idiot. I wanted to
Mais
warn
mettez
her
qu'on
to be
puisse
careful.
passer les dialogues.
You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her.
Putain.
Unfortunately,
Bon bah
the young
réveillez-moi.
lady
Hein.
slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Were you able to recognize the prowler?
Unfortunately not, no. It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
Désolé, on peut pas. Je vous rappelle, on a plus
Have
de
we
points.
finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Encore une fois, oubliez pas, c'est grâce à Astorf qu'on a plus de points.
The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
Ouh, il avait une immunité. Ouais.
Hannibal crossing the Alps. Another military success. Why do I get nothing but visions of horror in my room? And he gets victory after victory? A Chinese coin. The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of grandeur.
On peut même pas fouiller. C'est con, hein.
It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles. My dearest son,
Il y a beaucoup
I'm
d'immunité,
writing
le
to
mec.
implore you to act quickly. The situation is rapidly worsening here. Paoli continues to steer our motherland, Corsica, toward open warfare between France and England. His men are everywhere. We are obliged to go into hiding and are unable to remain in the same place for more than 2 days. I wouldn't be surprised if they targeted us soon. Make haste, my son. You hold our destiny in your hands. Your loving mother, Maria Letizia Bonaparte. A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier. French actor Talma as Nero in Britannicus, the last emperor of the Caesar dynasty. A fragment of amber.
Est-ce caché?
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
Salut Chalou, ça va?
My dear Napoleon, as previously agreed, I would like to ask you to join us in January on my island to participate in the High Society meeting organized for the occasion. We shall be able to continue our discussion about our project for a new order for France. I have a proposition to make to you concerning your wish to put a strong leader at the head of France. I trust you to be discreet as to your coming. See you soon. Lord William Mortimer.
Et alors, Albus, moi je vois pas le problème avec le fait de dire chocolatine.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, two great army chiefs.
Par contre, j'ai pas vu son coffre. Coffre. Ils ont tous un coffre. T'as pas fait Ting par là? Ah, c'est la fenêtre, non. J'ai regardé. Non. Les autres sont des imbéciles, tu peux pas tester. Pas descendre par là.
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Vous avez le choix.
Has anyone told you that Elizabeth was killed last night?
Yes. Rumors spread quickly.
Huh. He looks very put out.
It's horrible. How did it happen?
I can say nothing to you, sir. You'd better follow your host's instructions and stay in your quarters.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Bon, on saura pas ce qu'il faisait dans le couloir. Mais j'aime. Merde. Non, je voulais pas retourner ici.
Monsieur Johann van Volner.
Pourquoi est-ce qu'on a un mélange de deux musiques en même temps?
signs of obscurantism.
On peut éviter le mélange de deux musiques en même temps?
Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever-obedient servant. So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth. But that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult.
Ah non, on peut fouiller maintenant. Est-ce qu'on fouille ou pas? Est-ce qu'on fouille ou pas?
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Comment, mon cher Zoidberg?
The alchemist is a young man. A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Ça marche pas, poil, je peux pas mettre un L à la dernière lettre. C'est dommage, hein. Try again.
Fragment of amber. The alchemist is an old man.
What can I do for you, de Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Donc là, vous avez une vulnérabilité. Vous choisissez.
Did you see how many tattoos Miss Adams had on her?
Of course. Who wouldn't have noticed?
Yes, but I'm sure that an expert like yourself must have an opinion on the subject.
I do. She was seeking to imprison something inside her. Her own body had become a sort of prison.
She wanted to protect herself, is that what you're saying?
Elizabeth was a flame, a candle in the night. And like all candles in the night, she was surrounded by darkness, by her demons, call it what you will. One thing is for sure. She struggled against hell and high water not to let her flame go out.
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed, but I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly. Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck.
My relationship with Miss Adams was pure, and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
Ouais. Ouais, crédibilité sur 20, ouais. Donc vous choisissez.
Please, tell me a little more about the nature of your relationship.
That is a personal matter, monsieur.
Yes, that is true. So, tell me.
All right. It was passion. That's why we couldn't stay together. It scared her.
I get the impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So? What does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an end to the relationship? You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agreed.
J'avoue qu'il fait très suspect, Azalia. Un peu trop suspect à mon goût.
Exactly how long had you been seeing her?
I have no reason to answer you.
I see. Is that what you want me to tell Lord Mortimer when he asks what I found out?
It's only been a few weeks.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Salut Danon, ça va? Bon moment. La seule chose qu'on peut faire, c'est retourner parler à certaines des personnes, ou sinon c'est aller voir Mortimer et lui faire un compte rendu. Vu que je peux pas descendre.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy. Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Bah moi, Danon, toujours fatigué, mais sinon ça va. Et comment ça, il va falloir que tu négocies pour pas perdre notre euro. Qu'est-ce qui se passe, Danon?
What can I do for you, Louis?
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
On n'a pas débloqué de nouveau dialogue avec elle, donc ça ne sert à rien. Où est passée sa partie de carte? Dans son cul. Ah bah ça.
Greetings, Louis.
On n'a pas plus.
I shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free.
On n'a pas plus de dialogue.
If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Ah, j'ai réussi encore une fois à faire bugger le jeu au niveau des dialogues. Ouais, donc ta boîte se fout de ta gueule, quoi. Alors le bus, oui, c'est légal de ne pas rembourser les frais. Ou plutôt, non, c'est pas totalement légal. Normalement, ta boîte est censée te charger au moins de la moitié des frais de transport ou des frais de location d'appartement si tu vis carrément là-bas pour le travail. Bon, bah du coup on a fait le tour. Hein. Dire que je peux pas retourner parler à Perru. Perru qui est pourtant un des plus gros suspects.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Je suis d'accord avec toi, Danon. Mais si tu veux, ça c'est sur le principe. Un exemple très simple, c'est moi au niveau de ma boîte. À la base, je vis à Bordeaux. Je suis sur Limoges pour le travail, parce que le client se trouve à Limoges. Ma boîte ne m'a jamais proposé une seule seconde de payer la moitié de mes frais de loyer. Mais pas une seule seconde, ils ont proposé. Alors qu'ils sont censés me payer la moitié de mes loyers vu que je suis pas de Limoges, hein.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
On vous choisissez là. Alors Gwen, j'étais pas obligé d'aller à Limoges, c'est juste que le client se trouvait à Limoges et que donc soit j'allais à Limoges, soit j'attendais afin qu'il me trouve un autre client. Donc ça aurait été très long.
I believe I've identified the murderer.
Really, Louis? All right then. Please think carefully before you give me your answer. This is a very, very serious accusation.
Ok, easy. Première personne qui répond. Désolé, mais t'as mis trop de temps à taper comparé à Gwen et Elbus. Alors, je veux pas être méchant avec vous deux, Albus et Gwen, mais si c'est pour troller, foutre en l'air complètement la partie, soit vous le dites clairement, soit non. Hein. Parce que le meurtrier déjà n'est pas un homme, Gwen, et Albus Alzalia n'est pas dans la liste des coupables.
I'm going to need a bit more time to review my findings about the crime.
I do
Parce que je veux bien vous laisser faire tous les choix, mais quand même, il y a des limites. Là, vous allez foutre en l'air tout ce que les autres ont fait et nous foutre dans la merde, donc... Moi, je sais qui est le coupable, parce que voilà, on a levé suffisamment d'indices. Bon.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
I'm sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Alors, Albus, elle s'est pas suicidée. Parce qu'elle s'est plantée 9 coups de couteau dans le dos. Elle s'est fait planter 9 coups de couteau dans le dos.
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
Donc notre mère est quoi? Le chat ou la souris?
Knowing my mother, she would be
Bon,
the
ça,
cat.
Albus, elles allaient répondre.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities and yours in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needs...
Alors, vu ce que vous sortez là sur le chat, donc on a MC qui est une chienne, Dindon qui est un canard, et Albus qui est une viennoiserie. Bravo le chat.
Financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
Ouais, Zalia, c'est ce que je pense aussi. Hein. Non mais MC, tu peux assumer. Hein. Ça te regarde. C'est après ça, c'est pas forcément un bon truc pour Dado non plus, hein, de faire le canard.
Isn't Bonaparte a bit young to deserve so much attention?
Well, you come straight to the point. I like that. Indeed, if you knew just how much you remind me of him. Trust me, I'll wager that Monsieur Napoleon will soon prove himself. I'm working on it, at least. Once this deal...
Et là, vous avez MC qui, après avoir fait sa chienne et sa chatte, ça devient étrange et pour certains dégueulasse.
It's closed. I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what he said.
Albus, je crois que Dindon ne connaît pas
There's
l'expression.
something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm sure that Sarah will
Alors
explain
non,
everything.
non, ça n'a rien à voir avec TPMP.
There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. Von Boulder, and myself.
Alors Dindon, en suivant ta logique sur TPMP, ils utilisent le français. Est-ce que du coup, tu vas arrêter de parler en français? Non. Non.
You forget Elizabeth Adams, my lord.
That's true. But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked. Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
It's possible.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
Je vois ça, Dindon.
You seem to know my mother very
Ah,
well. my lord.
Albus et Elzalion ont été d'accord
What
sur un
did you
choix.
talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we like to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
MC, ça va être compliqué, hein. Je te rappelle, pour information, MC que Albus et Gwen ont déjà matché. Donc tu peux pas faire matcher Albus avec quelqu'un d'autre.
My mother must have undoubtedly taken great pleasure in these exchanges. She always was one to appreciate broadening her knowledge. I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the Third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Unfortunately, my lord, the Crusades
MC,
are
tu ne veux
not
pas
my chosen
savoir
field.
hein, sur les pratiques de Gwen, MC.
You have plenty
C'est
of
Gwen,
time to
MC.
Your mother is a very well
Et pourquoi est-ce que tu dis polygame, MC?
Quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory.
Albus, t'es pas consentant pour que Gwen ait d'autres relations autres que avec toi. Je comprends, Albus. Hein.
Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot
MC,
of
ça
time
ressemble à une
talking
excuse
together
bidon,
at
là.
the
Une
beginning.
raison bidon, ce que tu viens de
What
donner.
happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much
Donc
to
pourquoi
tell
est-ce que
you.
tu parlais de polygamie?
The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply
Albus, c'est une allusion à un organe masculin.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Gwen a donné son organe masculin à
Would you
MC.
allow me to go there?
Donc elle peut pas le donner, Albus.
Of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
Mais comme ça, c'est encore plus du monde.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs.
Encore une fois, MC, ça ressemble vraiment à une excuse bidon. Hein.
The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Donc sans déconner, MC, excuse bidon spotted. Dans la chambre de la tour. Chambre de la tour. Peut-être que je peux retourner parler aux invités. Ah! Yeah! Clé à demi-cercle. Clé à demi-cercle, on en a vu une. C'était la chambre de qui? C'est pas la chambre de la folle? Ou de elle, là? Bien sûr, on peut plus y aller, quoi. On sait beaucoup trop sur quoi. Dis-nous tout, Gwen. Dis-nous tout. Ah ben moi aussi je suis le jeu, hein. Non, en même temps que je suis le chat. Ça m'empêche pas, hein. Donc on peut aller voir aucune des chambres. Il y a un monsieur qui m'embête. Lequel de monsieur, Gwen? Albus? Ou l'autre? Faut être un peu plus précis. Gwen. J'ai jamais accepté le moindre hug et j'en accepterai aucun à MC. Vous pouvez demander à Van Floon. Van Floon, il a voulu me faire un câlin et je l'ai repoussé, hein, au Geek Furies. On ne fait pas de câlin. J'ai même, comment il s'appelle, Frenchy qui avait essayé et que j'ai repoussé. On fait pas de câlin. Descente de coude, Clemchan. Non. En mode. T'éloignes. T'approches pas. T'écartes. Essaye même pas. J'aurais pu faire en descente de coude, oui, mais non. Edwin aussi. Impossible que Edwin ait aussi essayé, mais comme les autres, il y en a personne qui a réussi à me faire le moins de câlin. Ah mais moi j'embête personne, hein. C'est juste que Gwen veut pas affirmer sa relation. Donc vas-y Gwenou, affirme ta relation. Hey Gwen. Par contre, faut que j'aille où? Parce qu'ils disent aller à la chambre de la tour seulement. Je peux aller dans aucune chambre, je peux pas monter, je peux pas descendre. Besoin d'aide, Clem? Non, Jet, j'ai trouvé. J'ai des câlins qu'à ma famille proche. Moi-même à ma famille proche, Alzheimer, je refuse, donc bon. Ah ben, Albus, avocat, amant, ça se rapproche, hein, ça commence par la même lettre. Donc tu peux le dire, Albus. Vraiment, je refuse des câlins sauf de mon fils. Normal. Bien avec lui. Tendance à faire de l'urticaire quand les gens me touchent. Alors moi je supporte pas que les gens me touchent donc Et alors même ma famille quand ils s'amusent par exemple à me mettre la main sur les cheveux vite fait pour X raison direct je suis obligé de retoucher mes cheveux parce que je supporte pas ça. Nous avons trouvé.
Burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be?
Bah Gwen, oui, toi t'aimes bien les câlins de Albus.
Suspicious of. I must find the next part. Faith, sword.
Ah, c'est faux, Jet. Gwen aime bien les câlins d'Albus.
Dante's paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Pas de Albus quand même. Ah bah si, hein, Gwen. Vu comme t'as l'air attaché à Albus... C'est beau cette relation passionnelle entre vous deux, hein. Moi j'admire, hein.
Saint Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Donc là vous avez le choix.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Albus, il savait quoi? Le truc avec un pseudo qui commence par un O? Le mythe, c'est gratuit, ouais.
A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion could be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles.
La porte d'entrée, vous avez et l'autre porte là, on vient de la tester.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like
like a key falling to the floor. I'm gonna need something to help me get the key that fell on the floor. The door was closed from the inside. Would Mother have provided something within reach to recover it?
C'est malin.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Ah, il veut pas garder le papier, hein. Il court jusqu'au bout.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
What is this disc?
C'est ça, même la lettre pourrait me permettre de récupérer le truc, hein.
We'll see if it works. It's open.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Rini. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. The New Testament. And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was baptized by John in Jordan. It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. Their fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Rini.
Il y a que des tableaux en rapport avec Guido Rini ou quoi là?
Amber crystals. Great, honey. St. Paul painted by Guido Rini. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean? Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
On fait quoi? Qu'est-ce que vous voulez qu'on fasse? Verset 11 du livre. Ok.
And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and much people.
Je pense qu'on a vachement appris là. C'est intéressant, hein?
Volume of the Gutenberg Bible. This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord.
L'homme à l'épée. 13e.
Finally, brethren,
Ah, c'est pas ça que je voulais se
whatsoever
dire.
things
Non,
are
je m'en
true,
fous.
Whatsoever things are honest.
Je m'en fous.
Whatsoever things are just. Whatsoever things are pure. Whatsoever things are lovely. Whatsoever things are of good report. If there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore.
Non, Albus.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Je vais pas me faire chier à lire tout le bouquin. Qu'à vous décider, les gens. Vous décidez sur ce qu'on fait.
St. Paul painted by Gief. So we have the figure 11 twice underlined. And
Chapitre 11, verset 11.
Looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. The text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe? I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is coming to the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh wait, a note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative, awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that? There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean? There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Dans le livre. Ok. Et maintenant?
For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
Mauvaise réponse. Jeu de
For you
merde.
are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Now I pray to God that ye do no evil, not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest, for we are as reprobates. Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather
Bah, en
suffer
même temps,
yourselves?
c'est la seule à participer d'un nom.
Look, here's a message. It is of paramount importance that no one
Papa!
finds it.
Moi j'ai trouvé.
He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6.
Alors, juste pour te donner l'indice, Alzalia, quel est le point commun entre 11 et 13? Non. Tout à fait, Danon. C'est des nombres premiers. 11 et 13. Et ce que j'ai lu, c'est le chapitre 6, verset 7, ce qui fait 13. La moitié des deux, il parlait. 11 n'a pas de moitié. Bref. Du prussien, il est sur la liste. Alors...
St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add 1 companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean? On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add 1 companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
Donc ça fait 4 de différence entre les deux. Il doit y avoir un truc là-dedans où Où il y a 4 de différence entre les deux. Un à gauche et 3...
If we have hope in Christ in this life only, we are, of all men, most miserable.
Alors, il y a en tout 12 apôtres, Azaria. 12 apôtres. Mais le truc, c'est... Pourquoi est-ce qu'il parle de 1 à gauche et 3 à droite? Ça voudrait dire pour le chapitre 13... Alors, Albus, pour ce que tu es en train de dire.
Saint Paul painted by Guido Reni. Of the 4 apostles shown in this
Oui, 13 apôtres, mais c'est pas un évangile, si tu veux.
He is the 13th apostle.
C'est le 13e apôtre, et ce n'est pas un évangile, Albus. Faut suivre l'histoire. 12 évangiles, 13 apôtres. Après ça, on peut réfléchir aux chiffres. Ou se rappeler du livre évoqué. Ou vous choisissez. Ah, pas dans l'histoire, Albus. 14, non, pas dans l'histoire. Possible, Albus, mais là, on en a rien à foutre. On a strictement rien à battre la réalité. Là, on se base sur le jeu. Ouais, vous décidez rapidement, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Je vous préviens, juste pour information, je vous préviens, dans un quart d'heure, je stoppe le stream. On est fini cette partie ou pas? Dans un quart d'heure grand max, je stoppe. Donc vous avez un quart d'heure pour finir cette partie-là.
On the second day, the pilgrims listened to the prophecy of the young apostle.
Parce qu'on aura déjà fait largement plus de 2 heures, donc...
That was John, and the prophecy mentioned is most likely the book of Revelations according to Saint John.
Donc c'est un rapport avec Saint Jean. Un à gauche et 3 à droite.
If we say that we have
Ça fait 11 et 11.
deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us.
Non, c'est pas ça. Et Saint Jean. Évangile selon Saint Jean. Ok.
And he, bearing
nous
his
fait 20.
cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in Hebrew, Golgotha.
Ah.
I and my Father are one.
Ça nous ferait 11 et 33, mais non. Ah, j'ai pensé à la même chose, mais non, c'est pas ça. J'ai pensé à la même chose, mais non. 11 et 33, 33 étant un multiple de 11, et c'est pas ça. Ouais, je suis dans l'Apocalypse.
Saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing."
Pas ça.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Dix 14, yeah. Ou le 2, 4. 12, 14, 20.
And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and a half a time, from the face of the serpent. Hey, a new note.
Ah, bah, Dindon avait raison.
This page.
Bravo,
The
Dindon.
writing, it's not my mother's. S. I found the book in your effects. I've concealed it where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, awaiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. Hears the angel? What does that mean? Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location of the next note.
La personne qui écoute les anges. Un rapport avec lui?
Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
Donc là, on a de l'hébreu.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all.
Hébreu, 8.
No, nothing of value here. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. There's nothing worth noticing here.
Donc, hébreu 8. Huit. Une chance sur
Thou
deux.
hast put all things under his feet, for in that he put all in subjection under him. He left nothing that is not put under him.
Le choix.
But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected, and is nigh unto cursing, whose end is to be burned. Here's a message. There are some complications. Indeed, the Prussian is insistent.
Par contre, pourquoi
What's
le
happening at your
6?
end? Do you need help? If tonight is not possible, let's see tomorrow evening, in the South Room, where we reviewed the situation. When Paul understood that only the axe counted, he went back on his tracks. I await your confirmation to his left, in the company of the pilgrims that have joined him. Yeah, this last comment is about their code. I should find new pilgrims near Paul.
Bon, ça commence à être long quand même.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. Their fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. Their fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Il est revenu sur ses pas. Il est revenu sur ses pas. Donc la pièce précédente. Et à côté des apôtres. Ça n'a rien à voir ça.
Saint Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Saint Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
2 et 4. 2 et 4. Et il n'y a rien d'autre. Par contre... Paul de 2. Ouais. Mais là, c'est Paul de 2, mais après ça... D'accord, mais après... Pèlerin. Non. Est-ce qu'il y a un truc qui parle de pèlerin? Non. J'aurais dit le 2.15 de tout à l'heure, avec la même logique.
Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things.
Le truc, c'est qu'il faut trouver à ce moment-là. Je veux bien 2 et 15, mais... Banab Gwen.
For we are unto God a sweet savor of Christ, in them that are saved, and in them that perish.
Non, c'était pas 2 et 15. Il vous reste 4 minutes. 4 minutes, sinon on s'arrête là-dessus. Trois minutes. Il vous reste 3 minutes pour trouver.
I guess I'll just come back later. St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other.
C'est pour ça que là je rappelle les trucs. Ouais.
This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up.
Pèlerin 2-4, c'est ça?
My finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust.
C'est ça.
I can read the number 4.
Là, je vous ai rappelé les informations qu'on avait. Et je vous laisse essayer de deviner. 2-4 touches écoulées. J'ai pas vu le 4 en fait. Pèlerin de mémoire, ça devrait se rapporter à Saint-Jacques. Saint-Jacques.
What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith, and have not works? Can faith save him?
C'est pas ça. Est-ce que vous allez réussir à trouver avant qu'on stoppe le stream? Salut Aude. Ah Aude, je pense aussi qu'ils vont pas trouver. 1 minute, il vous reste 1 minute les gens. Un 13.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God, for God cannot.
Ah, j'aurais pas tort de tout tester d'ailleurs.
And neither tempteth he any man.
Mauvaise réponse d'un non. Albus, j'ai une idée, ouais, mais personnellement, j'ai envie que ce soit vous qui trouviez. Mais moi, j'ai une petite idée. Ah, c'est d'un nom qui a dit Jacques, hein, d'ailleurs. Pas sympa, le. Bah ouais, mais écriture de Paul. T'en as plein. Et fin du temps. Vous aurez jusqu'à mardi prochain 18h pour réfléchir sur la question. Bref, dans tous les cas, je vous remercie à tous et à toutes d'avoir suivi ce petit let's play sur The Council. J'espère qu'il vous aura plu. On se retrouve donc tout à l'heure à 22h pour avancer sur Nioh. Pour ce qui est de demain à 18h, vous aurez la suite de Tales of Symphonia. 22h, on commencera Breach and Clear. Jeudi et vendredi à 18h, vous aurez toujours du Final Fantasy XII. Samedi, 22h, on commencera Unravel 2. Dimanche, 16h, Ni no Kuni 2. 18h, Octopus Traveler. 22h, Vampire. Pour ce qui est de la semaine prochaine, lundi, 18h, ce sera encore une fois Final Fantasy XII. Et mardi, la semaine prochaine, à 18h, on reprendra The Council. Dans tous les cas, je vous remercie à tous et à toutes d'avoir suivi ce petit let's play. J'espère qu'il vous aura plu. Creusez-vous bien les méninges pour la semaine prochaine. Et en attendant, je vous dis à une prochaine. Allez, ciao ciao tout le monde. Bye bye.
Peggy 16.
Dearest Mother, I came to this rock to find you. But I only find myself surrounded by schemers. The President, the soldier, the Duchess, and the Cardinal, and those who invited us here. But I won't be a pawn in their games. What brought you here? What have you left for me to find? Are you even still alive?
Why do you think she wanted to leave?
Everything is possible if you make the right choices.
It will take all my skill and my silver tongue to solve this mystery. Before it's too late.